All right, y'all. What's up? This your boy Derek Branch here, SportsView360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints. And today we're going to once again recap another loss by the New Orleans Saints, as this time they were blown out by the Seattle Seahawks by a score of 44-13. Saints are now 0-3 on the season, and Seattle Seahawks are now 2-1 on the season after this loss. Now, this loss is also the third for Kellen Moore's career. He has not won a game in his brief uh, run as a head coach, current run as an NFL head coach. Um, a lot of people felt as though this game was over in like the first 20 minutes because it was that bad. It was that bad for this team. Um, you get down 7-0, you don't respond to that touchdown. You kick it back to Seattle. They return it back for a touchdown. It just got out of hand after that. After it was 14-0. It was 21-0. It was just beat down after beat down, man, in this game. Really bad, man. You know what I'm saying? And the Saints could not do nothing to stop it at all. Once they got down by like 21-0, even 14-0, I felt as though they wasn't gonna come back. They wasn't gonna come back and fight to make the game interesting. The way that's the way we saw them fight in the previous two games against the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. They just didn't do that. They don't have the personnel to fight like that right now. And another thing I saw on my timelines in the message board, the Saints Report message board, social media, is people are starting to have raised doubts of Kellen Moore's coaching ability. People are really starting to think that after just 3 games. And a lot of people are, disappointed in his tone on the sidelines. They don't like the fact that he does not, yell at anybody, that he does not show any emotions on the sideline as a head coach. You don't see him, reaming out a player, screaming out a player, going at the refs. And a lot of people are put off by that. And I saw this stuff coming a mile away, like a long time ago when they first hired him. And a lot of people were just, everybody was just, hyped up for a rebuild and wanted to see this team torn down and did, believe it in their head that they're ready to go through with this. And now that it's here, people are, backpedaling. A lot of people are backpedaling by what they see. But I know that the grace period will be over for Kellen Moore, and that once they start losing these games, they go on these long losing streaks and possibly get blown out. People are gonna start raising doubts about Kellen Moore as a head coach. But this is only his third game, man. This is only his third game. Still learning. Uh, it takes time. Sometimes it doesn't click right away for certain head coaches. And look what the mess that Kellen Moore is inheriting. A team that is not good, not a good roster. No stabilized at quarterback. But I can understand why fans are feeling that way, because even though the Saints are going to go through a rebuild, but at least show some fight, show some growth every week, and they were doing that in the first 2 weeks. And then against Seattle, it just came apart because I felt like maybe the Saints could play better outside the Superdome. As I've said in the past in previous videos, is that maybe it's just too much pressure to perform inside the Superdome in front of your home crowd. And maybe if you get away from your environment, play on somebody else's field, maybe you might be a better team. You might be a better football team, but it doesn't look like that's the case with the New Orleans Saints. This is a terrible game from start to finish. If you look at the stats right here, Spencer Rattler had 218 yards passing, completed 28 of 39 attempts, passing attempts, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That was his first interception of this season. Sam Darnold, he had the same identical numbers. On the ground, Alvin Kamara, 18 carries, 42 yards. Kenneth Walker, he had 16 carries, 38 yards. Chris Olave, 57 reception yards on 10 catches. Jackson Smith-Njigba, he had 5 catches and 1 touchdown and 96 receiving yards. So Seattle, I mean, just to me, they really didn't have this huge offensive explosion to blow out the Saints. It was just, a lot of plays here and there, a lot of things. They had a lot of breaks go their way. You know what I'm saying? They had the kick return for a touchdown. Just they successfully moved the ball on the Saints defense. Their running game they didn't really have a good day running the football. Only allowed Kenneth Walker to get 38 yards. Jigman, he didn't reach 100 yards. He had 5 receptions. So it just, to me, that this win by the Seahawks, it was just a combined effort. To me, it was just a combined effort by the team. You know what I mean? It just did a lot of things to put New Orleans in the chokehold to win, and that's what happened tonight in Seattle. Are they going to go with Spencer Rattler the next game? Most likely. Some people out there are saying that maybe they should go to Tyler Shough because, it's just time to do it. And some people think that Buffalo is not the right game to do it in. And to me right now, man, it really don't matter, man. It really don't matter. Reality is starting to set in for me on what this team is. It's not really good right now. But I thought, maybe this team could show some growth. And it did happen this week. And what's funny about this is that the Saints played the Arizona Cardinals pretty hard. And the 49ers pretty hard and almost won. But they don't do it against the Seattle Seahawks. And the 49ers beat the Seahawks in week 1. And the 49ers defense made Sam Darnold look very average as a quarterback. Now, this Thursday, I believe, the Seahawks play the Cardinals. And today, the 49ers and the Cardinals played each other and had a really close game that 49ers won. I think it's 15-13 if I'm not mistaken. Close game. So it just goes to show you how crazy the NFL is. It just goes to show you how crazy things could get. Now, in regards to firing Kellen Moore after year 1, I say no. We don't need to be like these other teams out here where the Carolina Panthers, the Cleveland Browns, like they've done in the past before they hired Kevin Stefanski. We don't need to be firing coaches after 1 year. Because if you do that, you constantly recycle coaches. This becomes, bad look on this football team, on the franchise. If you always fire somebody every year. They don't need to be doing that. Now, I would say the only way a change should come about in regards to firing Kellen Moore is if this team continues to be like this for the next couple of weeks of the season until season's end. If this team is not showing no improvement throughout the roster, then maybe a change should be made. But other than that, I say no. Let's see how things play out for the rest of the season. See where the team is at, and determine if we want a quarterback or not. That's how I see it playing out. That's how I think it should play out. But other than that, man, it was an ugly performance by the New Orleans Saints today. An ugly performance. I thought the Saints would lose, but not like this. I thought it would have been a 3-point loss. Because my score prediction was Seahawks 24, Saints 21. And that score, the actual score of that game, was nowhere near that. Nowhere near that, you know. So this team has to play, for this team to win, they have to play mistake-free football. Mistake-free football. They got to keep games close. They can't be down by 2 scores. And then another thing that happened is Blake Grupe missing a field goal. Blake Grupe has missed a field goal in every game the Saints have played in this season. 3 games. The Saints have played 3 games this season so far. And in 3 games, Blake Grupe has missed a field goal. So I think it's about that time that you start bringing somebody in to put some pressure on Blake Grupe, because he cannot continue. He cannot afford to miss field goals like this. Even this dude missed a garbage time field goal, because by that time he got in the game, the Saints the game was pretty much out of reach for New Orleans, and he missed that type of field goal. So it's time for them to put somebody in to put some pressure on Blake Grupe. It just is, you know. So it's just what it is right now, man. I thought maybe the beat down will come next week against the Buffalo Bills, but since it came today, we might be getting another one next week, because I don't think it's gonna get any better. You played in a hostile road environment today, and you could be playing another one next week. So I don't see no relief coming no time soon. And I also don't see Tyler Shough doing any better right now, especially with this offensive line. The way the offensive line is right now it's not beneficial for a young NFL quarterback. It's just not. In regards to Chase Young coming back, I wouldn't be surprised if they shut Chase Young down for the rest of the season. I just wouldn't, because it's not worth bringing him out there if this team is only gonna win, 4 or 5 games. It's not worth it. Just shut him down, let him get back to full strength, 100%, and go from there. However, this team needs to be looking at drafting another edge rusher to line up with Chase Young, because Chase Young has already shown you that he has his best availability, that he has an issue with being available. He done it with the Commanders. He did it with the 49ers. So you can only go off of what Chase Young's upside is for so long. He's also getting up there in age. So it's better to draft now than count on his potential upside as an edge rusher. Because maybe if you have him out there today, this game wouldn't get out of hand. Maybe. Because right now, the Saints have no pass rush whatsoever. This team has no pass rush. They cannot rush the quarterback. Cam Jordan had that really good game in the first game against the Cardinals. The next 2 games, where is he? Where is he? Also seeing some rumors out, some articles being written about potential Saints being moved by this time, by the trade deadline. You may have to do it, because you need as many picks. I don't think nobody gets moved, but I won't be surprised if they do. I won't have an issue with it. I don't. I think in order for Chris Olave to get moved again, he has to build his value back up. And right now, he has no value. He has no trade value right now. And especially operating in this offense. The way this offense is right now, Chris Olave is not worth trading. You know? So it can happen, but I don't see it happening though. But we'll see how it all play out, man. Just this team needs picks. It needs draft capital to build its roster back up. You know? So I don't see Kellen Moore going right now. I don't. Unless somebody at the top, Dennis Lauska, somebody in the front office starts to complain about this. If somebody in the front office is not satisfied with the direction of Kellen Moore is going with this team, then maybe he could get moved. But I doubt that it happens. So we'll see how it all play out, man. But Saints suffered one of their worst defeats in recent memory against the Seattle Seahawks, 44-13 on the road. The next game is against the Buffalo Bills, which is also on the road, the Bills could do even more damage to this team than what the Seahawks did. So we'll see how it all play out, man. But that's all I have for y'all for right now. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. If you listen to this podcast through Apple, Spotify, Amazon, 5-star rating, leave a review, leave your thoughts, comments, and I'm out. Peace.